Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another episode, folks. Today we're going to carry on with the Explorer notes from where we left off. And once again, this will be about a 40-minute video, so that's kind of what I'm aiming for. We are well on our way. We've got quite a few more Explorer notes to go, so without any further ado, let's get into it. So here we are. This is where we last left off with the Explorer nodes. As you can see, this is where I'm at on the map. Let's go towards the next location. We're going to go basically right here. So this is the little strip of island on the west coast. And there's quite a few nodes in this area. We're going to look for this particular set of rocks. As you can see, there's a tree between them. So that's what we're looking for. And obviously at the base of the tree right there to the left, there's a ruin. And of course, the ruin will have an explorer note. So let's go and pick this up. So I'm going to show you the location on the map and of course the coordinates in a bit. As always, this is where I am at. Not very accurate, but the coordinates are 54.8 by 13.7, and this is Rockwell number 13. From here we're going to go towards the north, so we're going to follow the beach, and right around here we can see that there's like a path into the cliff line, and so basically going to follow this path. And halfway up here, again, we have another explorer note. So this is where it's at. As you can see, it's kind of hidden, to be honest. So it can be difficult to spot from the beach. So you do have to come up here. Probably easier to spot from the air. This is where I'm at on the map right now. So not far from where we were last off. The coordinates are 52.4 by 17.3. Now from here, of course, there is another explorer note, and we have to go further up. We're basically going to follow it up towards the tree line. You can see there's already another ruin, and of course, as you already know from previous videos, where there's a ruin, most chances are that there will be an explorer note. This time around, we have the Basilosaurus dossier. So I'm going to let this close. Well, I'm going to close this in a bit, and then I'll show you my location and coordinates. So the coordinates are, of course, 52.4 by 17.7. So 3 nodes within close proximity of each other, which is kind of nice. You can pick all of these up really quickly. Now, from here, we are going to move on to the next explorer node. I'm going to get a bit of height to kind of show you what's going on. We're going to go to the other side. So right here, you can see that says the Redwood forest. We have this terrain right here, which is kind of cliffy, and you can see there's like a little pillar right next to it. We're going to go for that, and on top of it, as you can see, there's a ruin. Of course, next to the ruin, we'll find the next explorer note. This one is, of course, a Helena one. Alright, and I'm just going to pop out the map and show you where I am actually on the map. Let's get the glare out, and the GPS coordinates are 55.1 by 27.6. Alright, so from this location here, we are going to go towards the next explorer note. So this is where we are. We're going to look towards the I'd say northwest. We want to go towards that gap in the tree line. So you can see the cliffs on one side, trees on the other side. Basically, we're going to follow that gap, and we will come to this sort of structure right here in the map. So you can see cliffs on either side. There's actually a few of them. You can see there's it kind of turns it's kind of like an angle basically, and we want the middle one basically. We're going to align ourselves with it and head south from there. And we should come to this particular ruin right here. Now, I don't know if I explained it well enough, but you guys get the idea. This one is a Mayan explorer note. So this is where I'm at on the map. This is Mayan number 24, and the coordinates are 50.4 by 23.2. Okay, so from here we're going to go back out there, and we're going to follow that. I don't even know what this would have been, a riverbed or something, but we're going to go towards the northwest some more. We can see there's a river basically, so we're going to go towards that river, heading northwest, and then if we look to the west, we start going up this path with the river to the right. We should come to the next ruin, which is kind of below me, but this is what the area looks like. So I'll just go back on myself. So it's behind that rock right there, you can see it. Yeah, this is basically what we're looking for. So I just wanted to show you the surrounding area. Of course, there'll be a explorer note attached to this particular ruin. This one is another Helena note, and it is the Microraptor dossier, as you can see. Alright, let me show you my location on the map. This is where I'm at, and of course the coordinates are 48.5 by 21.5. Now from here, what we're going to do is we are going to follow the river. So let me just get some height here to show you what's going on. So we want to go with the river. We're going to go northeast, basically just follow the river in or towards the center of the land or the map or the island, whatever. We'll come to this river right here, this waterfall. We just kind of follow it around. You can see right there to the left there's a ruin, and this one also has another explorer note. This will be a Helena explorer note, and it is the Dodicarus dossier. I nearly forgot what that name was, although I've probably said it a couple of times in this video. Anyways, this is where we're on the map, and the coordinates are 46.9 by 27.5. Okay, so from here I'm going to get some height, and we're going to look for the next explorer note. So this is basically where we went down that way right there, then we kind of went to the river, then followed the river in towards the mainland. We can see a cliff to the right. We want to follow the cliff all the way around, and here we will find another explorer note. It's right there, as you can see. So we'll pick this one up. It is actually sticking out of the cliff. And I am right here on the map, and of course the GPS coordinates are 44.3 by 23.6. And after this we will head on to the next location. So from where we are, we're going to basically go downwards. You can see there's another cliff right here, so this is what we're looking for. You know you're in the right place that if you find this cliff basically underneath the previous cliff. We want this green rock right here that we're looking for, and right past it you can see there's a ruin, and of course with that ruin we have another explorer note. This one is a Mayan explorer note, and it is the 25th one. Let me just get the glare out. This is where I'm at on the map right now, and the GPS coordinates are 42.5 by 22.9. Now there is a explorer note that I did accidentally skip. So this is basically where we started off. We can see the red obelisk right there. We did do the waterfall in a previous video, and right there before, so there's a one right there, there's another cliffy area right here, and right behind one of these rocks right there in front you can see that there will be an explorer note. So let me just kind of show you. It's kind of right there. It's kind of well hidden as well. So there's also another explorer note at the top of this cliff as well that I showed off, but I did forget about it, so I did return back to it to kind of show you. So right there there's another explorer note right on top of that cliff right there. And so we'll pick this one up pretty quickly. I thought I might as well return and pick it up before I forget. So this one is the Liopleurodon, and that is of course a Helena note. And my location on the map is right here, and of course the GPS coordinates are 78.1 by 24.3. Okay, so this is where we were prior to the last note that I showed you. So from this point onwards, we're going to go towards the beach. So that's what we're looking for right here. So we're basically at the border with the snow biome. You can see this rock right here, and so it does turn into a bit of a cliff. But towards the right of it, there is a ruin, again hidden amongst rocks. But here we have the Direwolf dossier from Helena, and it's not really far from the previous note, but I will show you the map location and of course the GPS coordinates. The coordinates are 42.4 by 20.8. I'll leave this out for a bit and then we'll move on to the next location. Now from here, if we gain a bit of height, you can see there's a bit of a cliff area, or the let's call it the tallest portion of this region of the map. And again, a ruin with some pillars around. This time around we have a Nerva note. I'll show you the map location as always. This is where I'm at right now. We are starting to go inland, as you can see, and the coordinates are 39.5 by 24.4. So from this location, we want to look towards the east. So basically align yourself with these pillars, start looking towards the east basically, and just go this way. And as you can see, southeast, east, behind this rock there is another pillar, and this time around we have a Helena note, and this one is just a simple note. So I mean, this one is one of those things that you can easily miss just because of the fact that it's hidden behind the rocks. So I'm going to show you where it is on the map. I mean, as I've said before, the map isn't all that accurate, but the GPS coordinates are 40.6 by 26.0. So here you can see the GPS coordinates, and I'll leave this out for a bit so you guys can note it down. So from this location, we're going to head off towards the volcano. So we're going to pick up some notes from there. And then after I do this, we'll probably head towards the snow biome. Right here, what we're looking for, a bit high, there is a river right next to the volcano. We're looking for a waterfall. So right here, you can see the waterfall. There's the mountain with the blue obelisk and the volcano in front of us. You can see this is what it looks like. So I'm trying to show you the surrounding area so you guys can find it quicker. We can see some rocks here. We're going to align ourselves with a specific rock that will help us towards the next node. So we want this rock right here. We're going to start looking towards the east and just go towards the east. Keep going, and eventually we will come to this ruin right here. This is basically two stone-like pillars, and in between them we have the next Nerva note. Here is my position on the map, and the GPS coordinates are 45.3 by 31.4. Now from here I'm going to head to the top of the volcano, and I'm going to show you how to find the next node. I just think this one is basically easy to find from this direction. So what we're looking for is the path that leads into the volcano. Basically, this is the path that leads to the final boss battle, which is the tech cave. We come to this cliff right here. We're going to look downwards, so we're basically looking towards the northwest. We're going to go down this side and just go northwest, and we come to this ruin right here. It's quite easily visible. You can see there's a lot of stone and metal and even some obsidian around it. This one is another Helena note, and it is the Prolovia dossier. And of course the map location. So this is where we are at this moment in time, and the GPS coordinates are 36.5 by 34.8. So back at the waterfall again, we're going to use the exact same waterfall as before. That's where we went prior to that, towards the volcano. We're going to follow the river that had the waterfall until we get to this rock right here. And as you can see, it does towards, I mean, I'm trying to show you the area as best as I can. I'm not really good at describing it, but if we follow this and we kind of go towards the southeast, more like towards the east to be honest, we can see a ruin. This one's a bit difficult to spot because there's not really a lot standing out or standing upright, so it may take a couple of attempts until you find it, but it is here. And I'm going to show you the GPS coordinates. Actually, I find that the GPS coordinates are very helpful for this particular note. So this is where I'm at. GPS coordinates are 43.4 by 30.9. Okay, once again back at the top of the volcano. This one's going to be a bit difficult. So I'm at the highest point of the volcano, looking towards the Redwood forest. And this is what we're looking for. So I'll show you right here. You can see right there, there's this really weird structure. So it splits into two. It looks like a Y, and if you go down the right path, it then splits again into two, basically. It's the best way I can describe it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go downwards, then we're going to take the right path where it splits again into two. We're then going to follow the left path into the forest, and that should line us up with the next explorer node. So basically we're going down, yeah, take the right path. At this point right here, we're going to go down the left path, and then straighten up. We're going south and just keep going south. This can be a bit tricky to find. It did take me a couple of attempts. So we head in, and right about here we should have the next explorer node. Now the best I can describe this is use the GPS. This is going to be your best friend right here, because sometimes, I mean, the forest is quite dense. There's a lot of stuff going on, and as you can see, you don't always land where you want to, but it is here. It's right below me, and the GPS coordinates are 50.5 by 38.4. That's what we're looking for. But if I start gaining some altitude, and I'll show you exactly the path that we took. I mean, you don't have to come from the top of the volcano. You can actually spot it from a distance. I'll do that right now. So basically, we came from the highest point. We followed this path down this way, and then it split into two, of course. So right there, it split into two. We went down the right path, then come down the left path, or in this case, as we're looking at it, we're going down the left path, then coming down the right path. So if we do this again, like so, we're heading south. And it kind of, what it does is it puts us really close to it, so we don't really have to do a lot of walking about trying to find it in the deep bushes. As you can see, the forest around this area is quite dense. Now, on top of that, of course, we're going to add the critters that live here, which can complicate things. There's like Carnos and Rexes and all sorts of bad stuff. But another thing that I do use, as I said, are the GPS coordinates. So I know I'm looking for these coordinates, and it does help me get really close to it. So this is what we have. It is another Nerva node. I did try my best to explain it as best as I could. Probably didn't do much of a good job, but you guys get the idea of what you're looking for. And like I said, it lands us really close to this location. The coordinates, once again, are 50.5 by 38.5. So from the previous location, we're going to go around the volcano. So that's the volcano right there to the left. We can see this cave right next to the volcano. We're going to basically be in front of this cave. And if we look towards the volcano, again a bit high, you can see those trees right in the far distance. That's where we're going to go. Right there we'll find some rocks and metal and some trees. And scattered amongst them, we will have a small ruin with another node. It's right there, as you can see. It is amongst the nodes of metal. This one is a Mayan node, and I'm right here on the map, and the coordinates are 38.9 by 44.0. I'm just going to leave this out for a bit longer so you guys can write it down. Okay, so again, doing the volcano, we're doing the way around the volcano. It's right there in front of us, and then basically that's the river that kind of comes around the volcano. To the right of that we'll have the mountain with the blue obelisk. And so basically we want to be around here. If we're going to go downwards, you can see where there's a waterfall, the river does take a turn. And if we look to the left, there's this really weird tree line. It's almost like an archway that it forms out of the trees. And we kind of want to go towards the green obelisk. We kind of point ourselves that way. So that would be southeast. So down here we can see basically where I'm pointing. We want this rock right there. Point that way. So again, GPS is going to be our best friend. And just head into the forest. And I hope you guys can see this. It's not that dark. Again, heading southeast. Always look around. Some of these ruins can be difficult to spot. And it's right behind these rocks, as you can see. This one's actually well hidden. I'm just constantly showing you the GPS so you can see the direction I'm heading in. This one is the dossier for the Carnotaurus. And I'm going to show you my location on the map. So we are now basically behind the volcano. The coordinates are 33.3 by 40.9. From this, we're going to get some height so you guys can see the surrounding area again. So these are the snow mountains. We're going to go up to the top of the volcano basically. But right here, if you can see, there's a path. Yeah. So we're going to follow this path. And it does take a right turn, and around that right turn there's a tree, and that's what we're looking for. So as you can see, this path is basically a way of bringing dinos up to the top of the volcano. If you want to walk them up, you can see there's a tree right there. Right underneath it there is another note. This one, we don't have a ruin attached to it, so we're basically looking for the tree as the point of reference. Alright, so you can see the map clearly, and I'm going to show you the GPS coordinates. They are 39.9 by 40.5. Now, once again, we're going to continue following this path. We're going to go all the way towards the end of it, kind of. It does kind of bend around, and then it goes this way. And basically, right now, we're just going to take the left path when we get to that crossroad. It'll bring us right here onto the inside of the volcano. Basically just follow this path. It will take you, of course, to the entrance into the tech cave, and that's what we're going for. This is what we're looking for right there. That's the door. That's the panel that takes us into the that unlocks the tech cave. But right next to it, to the left side, of course, you saw that we have another Nerva note, and I'm going to show you where I'm at on the map. GPS coordinates are 43.0 by 39.1. I'll leave this out for a little bit. I mean, it's kind of easy to find. Basically, just make your way towards the tech cave, and before the gate on the left side, there is a note that you can pick up. So from this location, we're going to head on to the next note. Let me just get my point of reference. We're going to go basically into the snow biome. So as we head towards the snow biome, we will see this archway right here, and at the base of the archway to the right there will be a ruin. So this is what the surrounding area looks like. So this is what we're looking for. Down here in this corner there's a ruin. I mean, most of you might know about this. Of course, here we have another explorer note, and this one is Mayan number 8. This is where we're at in the snow biome, and of course the coordinates are 32.4 by 16.1. So from here, we're going to gain some height. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but not far from it. You can see this platform here. There's also a cliff, and if we follow the cliff, basically that cliff right there, there's a little bit of a gap almost, but we can see a small ruin. Of course, this ruin will have another note. This one is the Brontosaurus dossier, and I'm going to show you where I'm at on the map as well as the GPS coordinates. I mean, these next couple of notes are kind of easy to find, so I'm trying to kind of group them together. This is 31.6 by 17.1. Again, from here, we're going to look for this structure right here. This is basically an avalanche that's kind of taken place and taken trees with it. We're basically going to follow this towards the snow mountain. And as we go in, we're going to look to the right. You can see that there's some trees that are kind of bent to the right there in the distance, there's a tree standing up behind it. There's a small, ever so small ruin with, of course, another Helena note. So we don't go too far in before we look to the right and we see the trees bent forward, and after those trees bent forward there's a tree standing up behind it. We'll find the ruin. Coordinates are 36.1 by 26.5. So we're gonna head out back to the avalanche and basically go all the way to the end where it kind of started. You can see there's a cliff right there. This is what the surrounding area looks like. This is where we are, and right here at the end between the rocks and the cliff you will see that there's a very well hidden ruin. Actually, there's not a lot left of the ruin, but there is also, of course, an explorer note. This one is the Calicotherium, and I'm going to show you the map. So we're quite a way in, to be honest, and of course the coordinates are 31.2 by 28.9. Now from here I'm going to get some altitude. You can see if we're looking towards the, I think that's the volcano, we can see that little peak right there. That's what we're going to go for. That is where the next ruin and explorer note will be found. You can see there's a bit of a platform or flat piece of ground, and of course there's a ruin, and of course behind the ruin we have another note. So the location on the map is here, and the GPS coordinates are 34.3 by 29.3. Alright, from this location now we are going to I'm actually going to turn it back into day so you guys can see. We're going to start going around the snow biome. I'm going to follow this river basically, and if you follow this river, it kind of takes us up north where it splits the snow biome into two. We're going to start off with the right side, so we come to the waterfall, which is this right here, and this is what the surrounding area looks like. You can see there's two cliffs and a waterfall. Past the cliffs right there basically there is a ruin. We're going to go towards the right side first. We'll take this mountain, and you can see right there between the trees a tiny ruin. Of course, as with all ruins, we will have an explorer note. So this is Helena number 19. This is where we are. So yeah, and these are the coordinates. They are 25.1 by 44.6. Now back at the waterfall, if we kind of go inwards a bit towards the volcano, you can see that there is actually another ruin. So it's kind of in line with the waterfall. And I mean, you can see it, but it is kind of well camouflaged because of the snow. This one is Mayan number 10. And my location on the map is right here. And of course, the GPS coordinates for this are 27.2 by 43.9. From here we can find the next explorer note. So I'm just going to head back to the river. So that is the mountain that we're doing in front of us, and if we go towards the mountain and look to the right, we're going to go around the mountain on the right side. You can see this little cliff right here, this little ridge. We're just going to follow this ridge around. We're going to stick to the higher or mid-height point of the ridge so we can actually see the ruin, which is actually quite in front of us. But yeah, I mean, it is a decent sized ruin. It's easy to spot from a distance, and in this ruin again we have a note hidden behind this pillar right in this corner. So I'll leave this out for a little bit just to show you what you're picking up. And of course, this is where I'm at on the map, and the GPS coordinates for this are 26.5 by 51.6. So I did wait for the snowstorm to pass, but we're going to continue following the mountain around. We're looking for the area where the snow biome goes into the forest. So that's what we're looking for. We're just going to follow this edge, and past this rock right here at the bottom we have another ruin with an explorer note. This one is a Helena note. I believe this is number 26. Let me just double check that. Yes, it is. So this is where we are at. Coordinates are 27.6 by 56.4. And not far from here is another ruin with another note. So again, get some altitude so we can actually see what's going on. We're going to continue following the mountain around this way, but we're sticking to the snow biome. And you can see this kind of cliff right here. This is what we're looking for. And on the edge of it, there is a ruin. You can already see it. Down there somewhere, we had a explorer note that we picked up in a previous episode. This time around, we're going to pick up the one attached to this ruin right here. It is actually between the ruin and the rock, so this is where you'll find it. And as you can see, there's a lot of bad stuff around this mountain, so do come prepared. Bring probably a decently powerful dinosaur that can withstand what this mountain has to offer. Coordinates are 24.8 by 60.9. But this mountain is one of the more dangerous ones. So from here, what we're going to do is we are going to head to the top of the mountain. And at the top of the mountain, we will find our next explorer note. You can see the ruin right here is kind of easy to spot. We'll pick this one up. Again, another Helena note. This one is the Argentavis dossier. This is one of my favorite flyers in the game. It has many uses, but this is where we are on the map. The coordinates are 21.6 by 53.8. So from this ruin, we're going to follow this path. So the path kind of goes up this way, kind of leads to nowhere. We're going to go downwards basically, and we will... another thing I wanted to point out, gigas do spawn here, so keep that in mind. We come to this cliff, a rock face right here. We're not going to go down the left, we're going to follow it to the right, and then we come to a dead end right here. If we look to the left, we can see a very tiny ruin with another explorer note. Okay, this is Helena note number 20. This is where we are right now. Coordinates are 19.1 by 49.9. So not far from here, we have several more explorer nodes. They're quite close together. So let me show you what we're looking for. You can see these platforms right here with the ice that started to melt. Right underneath it, right there, is a fairly decent sized ruin. But there's also a couple more nodes down there. There's about 2 down there, I believe. I'll show you those in a bit. You can probably see one of the ruins from here. But anyways, let's crack on. There's 2 up here and 2 down there. So let's pick up this one first. So another Mayan note. And this is where we are right now on the map. Coordinates are 15.7 by 52.5. Now from here we are going to look to the left where that drop is. Basically that's where we're going. This one does not actually have a ruin or much of a ruin that you can see. It is, I mean, there is something there, but it's very difficult to spot, so it's really well hidden. But this one is another Mayan note. So this is the second one up here. Now after this we're going to go towards the north coast, in the area where I showed you before. So the coordinates are 15.3 by 53.1. That's where it's located compared to the previous ruin. I nearly lost my word. So we're going to go for these 2 things that protrude from the coast. We're going to take this one right here. As you can see, there's a pillar, and this is what that iceberg looks like. And we'll pick up this note right here. This one is Helena note number 21. And this is where I am right now on the map. And the coordinates are 12.6 by 49.3. Now we're going to go to the other side. So there's like 2 icebergs basically, but we're going to go towards this one. This one should be easily, or easy to spot, better said. And right there we can see the ruin, and we can see the note on top of the ruin. Okay, so this is where I am on the map. They're actually quite close to each other. There's actually 4 nodes really close to each other. Coordinates are 12.7 by 54.5. Okay, so now we're going to continue heading around this coast to the next explorer node. So as I said, we're going to go around this coast. We're going to just follow the beach, so to speak. And we're basically going to go back to the river that kind of brought us to the north. And you can see right there to the left, that river turns into a waterfall before it spills into the ocean. Now, this one's kind of hidden, so it's kind of cool. But you can see waterfall, and right at the base of it, there's like a little cave entrance. We'll go inside. You can see the ruins just about, so I'll gamma up. But at the base of these pillars, there's another Helena note. So I'll pick this up. And this one is the Archaeopteryx dossier. This one's kind of interesting in terms of how it is hidden. Alright, and the coordinates are 18.6 by 42.7. So once you've got this one, we're going to head back out. I will gamma down before that though, so it's not too bright when we go back outside. And then we're basically going to follow the river inwards towards the land, basically towards the south. And you can see that giant rock right there. At the base of it, of course, there's a decent sized ruin. So it is kind of difficult to miss. There is, you know, it's quite a big ruin. This one is Mayan number 11. And my location on the map is right there, and of course the coordinates are 20.4 by 40.7. So not far from here, as we follow the river, which is what we're going to use as a point of reference, we're going to start going towards the blue obelisk soon enough. But you can see there's some snowed in bamboo trees. That's what we're looking for. Past those, you can see another node. There is a very tiny ruin, easy to miss. So I just thought I might as well cover it here as well. And here is my position on the map. And of course the GPS coordinates are 21.3 by 40.9. Okay, so this is an additional bit that I did leave out. I did think initially that I recorded it, but this is where the Oviraptor note is. It's at 50.9 by 23.0. I'll show you the location on the map, but we're looking for this as well. There's another note right there. So what happened is, I thought this got recorded. Apparently my software must have had a meltdown or something because it didn't record, but because I do it in segments, I thought I might as well add this at the end of the video. So this is kind of going back on ourselves. Not really my fault. I didn't miss it out. It just didn't get recorded. But as you head towards the northwest from the Oviraptor dossier, which I didn't show because, well, software problems, we'll come across to this particular ruin right here. And at the base of it, you can see that there is another dossier. Again, this is the Dodo dossier, which I did initially, well, I thought it was recording, but it didn't record. So that's kind of frustrating. This is my location on the map, and I do apologize for not showing it in the order it was supposed to. The coordinates are 56.7 by 21.4. And that is it for this video, folks. That is all I had to show. Join me in the next episode where I am going to finish off the snow biome and hopefully cover all of the water caves. Now, there are 2 types of water caves that we will be doing. There are the simple water caves where people build bases in. It's kind of like a little pocket of air and everything. Each of them has one explorer node, and then of course we have the water caves where we get the artifacts from, which tend to have between 3 to 4 explore notes. But that will be the very last episode. So in the very last episodes, we will do the artifact caves, which of course are the land ones and the water caves, as well as the tech caves. So 2 more episodes to go before this mini series is complete. If you guys found this useful and informative and have enjoyed it, please don't forget to support me by hitting that like button. Leave a comment if you want. I'm not really fussed what you're going to comment, but it does help the algorithm out. And until next time, stay safe, folks.